even if you haven't had suicidal thoughts, you can understand so much about her. The only difference between us and Christine, or a lot of us and Christine, is just that she chose to put a gun to her head, and she chose to put a gun to her head in front of an audience.
If doing this role taught me anything about how to live my life, it was to live it. And live it fully and live it richly. And I just wanted to go home at the end of that and say, okay, Christine, I'm putting you away now, and I'm going to remember what's great about my life. And I felt a service to do this as an artist. I was like, this story needs to be told. It's valid, it's important.
We need higher ratings. If it bleeds, it leads.
This is totally at odds with the work that I've been doing. It's exploitative.
Why don't you try compromise?
Yes, and I won't be doing the work that I love.
I didn't know about Christine Chubbuck. I don't think I knew anything, not even peripherally, not even vaguely. When I read the blurb, I actually thought about Network, and then I sort of thought, how interesting. And I was also very shocked and very frightened, because when you read a sort of 5-line reductive blurb on this film, like as in her whole life is reduced to this act, there has to be a person behind it, there has to be a story behind it. Tabloid journalism, which is something that the film deals with, in a sense, looks at something, it gives you the illusion of intimacy to a story, whilst also highlighting how far away you are from that person. For me, reading this script and the film, when I watch it, it inverts that. It collapses the distance and makes you contemplate how close you are to that person who did something that violent and that horrible.
Christine, go home!
These people are ruining me.
These people?
Why don't you just listen to me?
I mean, the sad thing is if she didn't do the act, and would we have made a movie about her? Would we have known about her? But in constructing the film, we knew we had to make the film for those who knew and those who had no idea. Not knowing where she's getting to, but just sensing that something is going to happen.
Someone get some fresh flowers.
It's ironic, there's a common misconception about depression, actually. It's sort of, that people with depression don't laugh or don't crack jokes or don't do things that are energetic. And for me, the basis of my characterization was that she is active. She's not passive, she's actually desperately trying to survive.
Maybe you can get us some footage of the chickens having sex so people can see how the eggs are really made. That's a joke.
We project ourselves into the world is something that we can all relate to. I mean, you see it on social media. I mean, like on a sort of trivial level, you see people sort of saying, "Oh, I'm having this great time at this restaurant," and it's not. They'd had it 2 weeks ago.
We only had about 14 minutes of her. One of the boringest talk shows you've ever seen. But there's so much there if you're looking at her. You see someone kind of trying to sort of figure it out. Sort of, what am I feeling right now? What is this? I think it was pretty close to. Recorded pretty close to towards the end of her life.
This is someone who desperately wanted to be famous for doing good, for doing the right thing and presenting the news. And how we choose to present the news is something that goes on and on. We're still talking about it now. I mean, if it bleeds, it leads, clickbait. She wanted to be famous for doing that well, and she wasn't. She got famous for blood and guts.
One thing that I try in doing with the camera is to not judge the character, and it's more to try and spend time with a character so that by the end we understand them a little bit better.
TV 30 presents what is believed to be a television first.
I don't even know what it was that he was talking about, but he was sort of acting it out and gesturing, and there was just a glimmer of something, and I thought, oh my God.
The putting on 45 is a lot more fun than taking off.
I was going to ask, yeah. How did you do it? And
cheeseburgers and beer.
Sounds great.
At the same time.